Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. He's Mike Brenner. I'm Peter Loshak. We are the Odds Couple. It's Week 5 in the NFL. Today is Tuesday, October 4th, and we're going to be talking with Doug Upstone right now. Very, very popular professional handicapper.
Can you say 10-2?
10-2 against spread in his False Faves and Top Dogs show. We're going to be covering specifically the Thursday night game, Arizona-San Francisco. Now, I'm interested to see what he has to say about this one, because this one, I'm not sure what I think about it. Got me scratching my head. Obviously, Arizona lost outright again as a favorite. They're now 1-3 straight up. They've been a favorite of at least 5 points in all 4 of their games, and they lost 4 of them outright.
Yeah.
But is San Francisco the kind of team that can win as a dog? They are also 1-3 against the spread, and their last 3 games, all as a dog, all ATS losses, all by margins. Twice they were a double-digit underdog and still couldn't cover. So San Francisco is not the kind of team that's been a live dog so far. This year, the line right now is 4 or 4.5, and the total's all over the place, 42.5, 43, or 43.5. I have no call on this one. I'm glad we have you and Doug Upstone to comment, because maybe you guys can shed some light on this line.
Well, you said you don't know what to think.
Yeah.
You know what I think, Pete?
No,
That's
you
what
don't
I
know
think.
either.
And I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Arizona bit my ass so hard, and then San Francisco looks like, hey, maybe they're figuring things out. Jump out to a 14-0 lead against Dallas, lose the game. All right. I don't know. Arizona's in big trouble. I know Doug's in Arizona. He probably has a whole lot of info. But Carson Palmer, done. That guy, literally, I don't think he could take anybody to any playoff anymore. And Bruce Arians is scratching his head saying, what in the hell happened to this team? I got to stay as far away from this game as I can.
All right, Doug Upstone, Arizona, 3 straight-up losses as a favorite of more than a field goal. And here we are once again. They're a favorite of 4 or 4.5. What's your take on this one?
Yeah, obviously we're going to see or I shouldn't say obviously, but by all appearances, we're going to see Drew Stanton as the quarterback. And I think this actually helps Arizona, and it helps Bruce Arians, because what the thing that they're going to have to do is they're going to have to run the ball more often. This deep passing game is being figured out by other teams in the NFL. And even though they started to make some adjustments last week, it takes too long for them to get the ball down the field, and especially with slow deliveries by both Palmer and or Stanton. So I think using David Johnson with the run, I think, is going to help this team overall. I'm not saying the Arizona line is anything like Dallas, and I'm not thinking they're going to have that type of success, but I think it'll help them move the chains easier. And then without Navarro Bowman now in the San Francisco's best defensive player, now in the linebacking core, I think that weakens their defense. So I think those are all positive for Arizona. Now, from San Francisco's point of view, the one thing I'm a little perplexed by, and I don't know if you guys watched the Dallas-San Francisco game last week, but they keep trying to sell us on that Blaine Gabbert is a legitimate NFL quarterback.
Yeah, I got you.
It's just plain and simple. The things that he does well, he's good in short yardage situations as a runner, and he's also quite good at throwing the out route to the near side of the field on numbers. Anything that he has to throw the ball, anytime he has to throw the ball down the field, it is a 50-50 proposition. It's either on target or it's into the ground. So Arizona, I think if they can take away their run, make Gabbert throw the ball on 3rd and long, I think that's going to enhance their chances dramatically. And they did a much better job last week against the run. So bottom line in this game, guys, I think Arizona's the play. I wouldn't go crazy on this one, but I have them 20-14 to win this game on Thursday night in a low-scoring affair and just doing what they need to do to get a victory and try to turn this ship around for themselves.
Awesome analysis.
Yeah, and I love his breakdown. Doug, I love your breakdowns. And, this is one of them games where somebody's got to win. That's what it is. And you know what? I really think Stanton, it's not going to hurt them any more than Palmer. But there's one thing I noticed last week, okay? Last year when Stanton was thrust into the role for a minute, he shined. He did really, really good. And I think he proved that the Cowboys made a mistake getting rid of him. But last week, he looked terrible. He looked terrible trying to drive that team down. So what that tells me is he's not prepared early on the season like he was last year when the injury occurred to Palmer. That tells me it's a lack of preparation by a backup quarterback. That scares me. Last week when they got away from the run game, which I don't know why, Johnson was killing it. They had 2 Johnsons running the ball like mad, okay? That is what they need to stick to if Stanton's going to be able to get back his confidence. Now, my question is, this defense has really taken a step back. They don't scare anybody, not yet so far this year, they haven't scared anybody. Between that and losing some speed on your wide receiver positions, I think this team has gotten to the point where Arians is even wondering what's going on. But go to the other side, and Doug broke it down perfectly, okay? It's all about Blaine Gabbert. I'm telling you, Jacksonville couldn't run him out of town quick enough. This guy is the farthest thing away from the answer the Niners need. And trust me, Chip Kelly already knows this guy isn't the one to make it happen. So he's going to be out. I love this because somebody's got to win. And 49ers proved to me against Dallas that when push comes to shove, they don't have what it takes yet. Will they get there? They could. But Arizona, they're in desperation mode. They have got to get this win. This is an absolute must-win game for the Cardinals. So on a lean, gun to the head, I'd have to say the Cardinals. And Drew Stanton, he better practice this week and put his head to it.
Or what about the under? Maybe the under is a great bet.
Could
Doug
be.
Upstone, is the under maybe a great bet here?
Yeah, well, I just said the score, final score of 20-14. I certainly like that on a short week as well.
All right, I'll give it
Give it.
officially. I'll give the
Hold
under
that team.
officially. I'm convinced. I think it's a good one. 43.5 is available right now. And again, the market is all confused about this one. 42.5, 43, and 43.5 are all available. I'm going to give the under 43.5 as an official pick here. And I'll also throw on the first half under, which I think is 21.5.
Absolutely, Pistol. Jump
All
on
right.
it.
Very nice breakdown of a
Hey,
tough game.
before
Doug
we
Upstone.
hang up,
Yep.
guess what?
Yep.
If Oakland Raiders lose on the spread this week, I'm flying Doug Upstone down to, I'm serious, to Costa Rica, and we're going to do this show live with Doug in the studio.
Okay, that sounds
But
great.
don't get your hopes up, Doug.
Doug, thanks so much, Doug.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
So we're giving you picks every day, and you're probably making your own as well. Be sure to participate in SBR's weekly Twitter Bankroll Challenge. Just post your picks on Twitter with @SBR Sports Picks and the hashtag BetSBR before 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, Monday through Friday. We'll be betting your picks, and if the bankroll is positive at the end of the week, you could win the profits. Picks must be of events taking place that day and available in at least one of the major sportsbooks shown in our Best Sportsbooks page.